Today we are going over the most terrible and deadly natural disaster of today, as well as looking back on the terrible devastation for the forces of nature inflicted throughout human history. We start with the killer lakes that last drunk in the Cameroon of August 21st, 1986. It was a typical clear day when nearly all the inhabitants of Niles Village, around 1700 people, mysterious and instantly died. Death came so quickly that one woman who is cooking porridge stood on the stove as she was still alive. Scientists arrived on the scene to the site of dead herds of cows in the pastures nearby. An autopsy showed that the people and livestock had died from carbon monoxide poisoning. It was the astonishing sign of volcanic eruption capable of releasing such a high volume of carbon monoxide was unprecedented. Further investigation found the source, the Lake Nyos, which had changed color the day before. A pocket of magma beneath the lake's floor had been belching deadly gas slowly into the water at a rate of about 5,000 tons per year for 300 years. Once the carbon monoxide levels reached critical mass, the accumulated gas under the water surface erupted into the local atmosphere, killing everything within a radius about 17 miles with the mind direction. This kind of phenomenon is not unique, it's called a lemnological catastrophe. Today there are quite a lot of potential kill lakes on Earth which accumulate carbon monoxide in their waters. For example, the Lake Kivu in East Africa, it holds near 1,000 times more carbon monoxide than Niles. If it bursts, nearly 2 million people living near its source can only pray that the wind won't blow in their direction. Fourth place go to a well-known natural disaster that frequently reduces the world's population. These are tropical cyclones and tornadoes that occur mainly within hurricanes and tropical storm systems. They form over the warm waters of the ocean near the equator, particularly in the Atlantic Ocean. Due to Earth's rotation, and cyclones usually move northwest. As a result, a large number of hurricanes strike the eastern shores of North America. Their raw power is nothing short of amazing. For example, in 2004, the hurricanes caused 117 tornadoes and caused $13 billion of damage in the United States alone. A year later, the infamous Hurricane Katrina caused about 125 billion in damage and killed 1,836 residents. But looking back at the most fatal hurricanes around the world, Katrina seems like a gentle breeze. In 1998, in Honduras and Nicaragua, Hurricane Mitch killed 20,000 people, and the record hurricane of 1780s in the Caribbean island kills more than 27,000 people. However, the deadliest hurricane is Polo, which struck East Pakistan in 1971, resulted in the death of 500,000 people. Also, the hurricane had relatively low wind speeds. The killer force of the storm was the huge amount of precipitation. Most of the islands in the Ganges Delta fully sweeping away entire villages and thousands of acres of crops. Running middle of the packet number 3 are volcanic eruptions. Throughout history, volcanoes have wiped out entire cities off the face of the earth. They result from pockets of the gas escaping from the earth's mantle, much like opening a bottle of champagne. You get a pop from an explosion of gas. Is eruption a form of one last smoky bucket and what's left over the bottle? But imagine if the bottle was shaken or heated before opening. If the bottle is tightly sealed, a powerful jet of champagne escapes, shooting out the cork out. With a volcanic eruption is similar in concept. Magma in the magma chamber is compressed by a gas trapped beneath the Earth's crust, and the pressure is escaped throughout the brick pressure points that we'll call volcano. The hot magma knocked the cork out of the volcano, so strikes the strongest and pressure points the strong volcanic eruption. Once the pressure reaches critical mass, the force as large rocks are boulders carrying out the air for miles with a deadly speed. Then comes to release of volcanic ash, which once settling can cause home brews to cave in. But perhaps the deadliest which or volcanic eruptions are pyroclastic flows, which are basically red-hot rushing storms of rock, ash and toxic gas. The temperature inside them can reach up to 800 degrees Celsius, which speeds up to 700 km per hour. Escape is impossible, even by plane, much less ground transportation. Pyroclastic flows are the primary cause of death during volcanic eruption. They destroyed the city of Pompeii and Herculaneum during the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD and released more energy than an atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima, Japan during the World War II. Historians estimate that 16,000 Romans died in the blast. In 1902, a pyroclastic flow destroyed the city of St. Pierre, killing over 30,000 of people. Only two survived the catastrophe: a prisoner who was locked in underground solitary confinement cell and the shoemaker who lived on the outskirts of the city. Other eruptions have drowned entered the city. For example, Mount Krakatoa in Indonesia went completely under the water after a volcanic explosion with more force than 11,000 Hiroshima bombs. 2,000 island inhabitants were killed instantly, and the result tsunami led to the deaths about 36,000 of people, more on neighborhood islands. But the all eruptions that have occurred in the last 20,000 years pale in comparison to supervolcanoes that are capable of creating global nuclear winter, destroying human life on Earth as we know it. Supervolcanoes have caused the extinction of over half of species that have ever walked the Earth. The scientists estimate supervolcanic eruption occur once approximately every 100,000 years. Second place go to one of the most deadly natural disasters, the tsunami. These are powerful waves generated by powerful subarctic earthquake on the ocean floor or in rare cases of meteor strikes of the ocean surface. Today humanity has only seen the earthquake variety. In 2011, after the devastating earthquake in Japan provoked tsunami with wave about 40 meters in height, the most fatal tsunami on record occurred in December 2004 in Southern Asia. An earthquake in the Indian Ocean produced wave 15 feet high that hit the shores of Thailand to Indonesia, Sri Lanka and other countries. About 300 people died as a direct result of the catastrophe. Several feature films were made about it, and with a quick web search you can still see the footage. The title for number one most terrible natural disaster go to earthquake. An earthquake occurs as a result of tectonic shifts in the Earth's crust. Sometimes they even result from landslides, volcanic eruption, mining operation, oil drilling, and even nuclear tests. It may come as a surprise, but there are about 1 million earthquakes annually on Earth. It's just most of them are so insignificant that they go unnoticed. Really strong quake with enough destructive force to cause the real devastation happen about once every 2 weeks, but most of them occur at the bottom of the ocean. Earthquakes have a 12-point scale of intensity, with 6 points and up being considered dangerous for people on earthquakes, which this much more or more can top of buildings, verifying people under their wreckage. On the largest earthquake in the history with a force of 11 points occurred on September 30, 1139 in what is now of Republic of Azerbaijan. The Quake Rock is a highly populated area in the Middle Ages, killing 230,000 people. The strongest earthquake occurred in China in 1556, claiming the lives of 83,000 people. It's also worth mentioning the Great Japanese Earthquake of Kanto in 1923. 174,000 Japanese citizens were killed and 142,000 were more missing. Over the past 50 years, there have been about 10 major devastating earthquakes across the globe, each killing anywhere about 100 to 800,000 people. When you include quakes with a death toll of less than 100,000, you couldn't even count them on your fingers and toes. So why exactly do earthquakes come first in our top 5? They're alarmingly frequent, and there is no sure way to protect yourself from one. While you may be able to avoid tsunami and volcanoes by living far away from them, earthquakes can occur almost everywhere in the world and without warning. Earthquakes have also claimed more lives than any other natural disaster, making them the king of all catastrophes. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button, do share or write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch up the next video.